New at 4, soon after COVID restrictions began to ease in New England and around the country, it seemed like anyone looking for a job could easily get one, but that might be changing. Omar Mohammed, an economics reporter with Boston Globe, Rhode Island, has looked into this. He joins us now live in studio. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off with the state of the New England job market. What's it like right now?
So right now it looks like things have cooled a little bit compared to a few years ago. Job openings have declined. Layoffs are ticking up as well a little bit, and then we're seeing fewer people quitting their jobs, which makes for a less dynamic labor market in the region.
And so if someone is out there looking for a job right now, what does all of this mean for them?
So in the story, I spoke to a few people, to a few job seekers who are job searching, and it seems like it's taking them a little bit more time to find new positions, and partly it's because also as I mentioned, the labor market is less dynamic. When fewer people are quitting their jobs or moving positions compared to a few years ago during the so-called Great Resignation, what you're seeing now, there are less vacancies for those new job applicants coming into the market. So that's kind of like what these job seekers are experiencing at the moment.
And you know in your story that some of the sectors that have driven the region economy has cooled a little bit, and you mentioned some of that. Walk us through some of those sectors.
So in New England, as you may know, the tech sector is a key part of the economy. Business and financial services are also very important to the New England economy. And what's happened to those sectors is, after sort of like powering the surge of hiring, right after, these pandemic era restrictions were easing, those are starting to pull back a little bit. Although in healthcare, which is another important sector in the region, we're seeing the data suggests that, or economists are suggesting that there's still hiring going on, and also in education.
So what does all of this mean going forward? What's the outlook here for the job market?
So New England's unemployment rate in December, which is the latest data that we have, was at 3.6%, which is lower than the national rate of 4.1%, but it's also been sort of going up a little bit. So that's relatively speaking, it's good news. But then there's a lot of uncertainty. So that this is a time when we're seeing, with the new administration, a lot of changes coming in. For example, things like tariffs and their suggestions, or at least like potential cuts in NIH funding, the National Institute of Health funding, which could impact, the region's healthcare economy. And so a lot of uncertainty, which could then shape the future of the labor market in the region.
All right, and you can find Omar's reporting right now at globe.com/RI. Omar Mohammed, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.